Someone asked me, now I mean one of you, asked me to record a video to sort of explain the lines of driving around Genting from Karak coming up to what a piece of what the hell roundabout. He doesn't understand roundabout. He just barrels straight in. Anyway, the lines. Yeah, I'll try my best to explain. So I have one camera showing here, which I don't know, the other one facing the front. So let's give it a go. The thing is, if you drive with the lines, you don't need to go really fast in order to drive effectively, less braking, you know, carry a little bit more speed. So as always, keep to the inner side, and if your car is going fast, you can ease out. If there are no cars behind you, we always look behind us. We check our mirrors constantly. Okay, we constantly check our mirrors, and of course be careful with the cars in front of you. Some people are very funny. They were like, "Oh, you're not following your lane when you drive." I mean, those people who follow their lanes are the ones who end up in the drain. Okay, like this one. Normally, if your car is fast, of course you take it inside so that you don't have very little to no body roll, so that you don't need to fight the body roll when you negotiate the next turn. Of course, this kind of speeds doesn't reflect whatever that I'm saying, because it's just weird. It's like, oh, you could have been here, but why are you there? You know, aren't you doing more unnecessary steering actions? You know, blah 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 blah. But I'll try and overtake the Camry, and then we'll see. Okay, this Civic is a dumbass. This guy. So same goes with this one. This turn, keep to the insides. Careful of the drain, and then it's here that you can ease out if there are no cars behind you, and keep your steering angle the same. And to the next one, same thing. Follow the lines. Here I would have been on the insides if not for this Alza. See, 1, 2, very little steering action, and instead of following the road, you know. This one, keep inside. Supposed to go there, but there's a car next to me, so I won't do that. But of course, these speeds are not fast. Here I would go to the inside, the left side as well, but there's an Almera there, so you can't. And supposed to ease out here and then take the early curve. Here it looks tight, but actually there is space for you to ease your car out. See, there's space to ease your car out without changing the steering angle. Keep it there. And then here you keep the inside, and you can ease your car out as well to meet the next apex here. And then here I'll always keep the outside. I'll always keep the outside lane. I do a later turn in so that I take the insides. And why is this Innova? You see, this Innova is a classic example of someone trying to be in his own lane while negotiating a tight turn. That's where it's dangerous. Okay? Then here I ease out as well to this apex. See that? Where the Q5 is. And then from here I'm supposed to keep it here because the next corner is here. And then here I will go straight. This is where I go straight. And normally I will go straight to this next apex as well, so that you reduce. Basically the whole idea is to find the straightest line to reduce your steering action. You see here, instead of turning left and then turn right, I just literally, I'm sort of driving straight through the bends. Right. Because there's an Innova there, if not I would have taken there. And then here straight to the back of the Q5 as well. Very little steering action. Yeah, that's how then here normally I will take the wider side, but then there's a Q5 there. I don't want to be too near to his front and scare him, so I will have to ease out here, which actually there's a lot of room here for me to do that. Okay, so, and then here, keep to the left inside, and then meet the apex up front. And then here there's room to ease out as well. See? So you can drive at this sort of speed, low speed, and when you drive like that, make sure no cars behind you, and you will find that, hey, I don't feel a lot of steering action, you know, compared to keeping yourself in the lane. There's so much body roll. And then here you take the inside, and a lot of people end up in the drain here, and I have seen 2 cars before ending up in the drain. And then here you ease out as well, and then you're at the next roundabout. Again, I'm gonna take the widest possible and then use here to ease my car out. Yeah, so see, I'm not driving very fast. I'm literally keeping the same speeds as most other cars, but I'm overtaking them because I pick a straighter line. It's safer and less braking. I didn't even accelerate much. It's just braking for speed bumps and then finding the line. Yeah. So this is roughly how it's done, but this is downhill. So I'm not a super expert in explaining this, but see, I wanted to eat inside there, but there's the car behind me getting nearer, so I do not want to. I'll just keep in my lane if there is a car next to me. Yep, which happens to be a Bentley. B for Bing, B for Bentley, B for Bobby. Okay, that's lame. Here I will keep inside as well, so that I ease out without changing my steering angle, and I meet the next apex again. And then here I will always keep the wider entry, and then kicks in and can straighten my steering sooner and meets the apex here. Here normally I will ease out because I know the road is wide enough. Here is a turn within a turn. So you thought you can ease out already, but the turn still goes on. And again, pick the wider one, and then to go in. But then there's an Exora there, so I don't go that far because I could have eased my car out. Yep, almost there at the guardhouse. So it's actually very easy. The thing is, be very aware of your surrounding. You know, front, behind, left, right. Keep checking your mirrors, right? And then basically always find the straightest line. Okay, even here you can ease out the speed bump over here, so that you have less steering angle, less weight transfer, less body motion to negotiate before you go into the next bend. I think this logic applies to every single track. Okay, of course, don't do this if there are cars around you. You know, you annoy people. People might need to jab on their brakes to accommodate you, and they might horn you. They just don't like it. But if there are no cars around you, it's always safer to drive like how I drive. Even like this, instead of following the lane, because there are no cars, I can turn like that, and there's way less steering action. Imagine you drive a Maserati Ghibli and then Bentley turns up, and then you'll be like I'm not sure how have they improved the Ghibli though. Last time when I test drive it, when it first came out, horrible suspension. It's so bumpy and so hard that of course the car's handling is great. It's a great car to drive, but it's just that the steering, no, the suspension is hard. I'm not sure if it has been improved this same logic applies on highways as well. To drive safer, less braking. I can guarantee you, the person who, if there are two person who works in Genting, everyday drive up and down, one person drive using the lane. Now, whatever I'm saying here is just the driving discipline. If you ask me how to negotiate all this, I'm gonna put aside, oh, it's not right to teach people to drive like that, blah 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 blah. No, it's just when you're not driving extremely slow, it's always nicer, kinder to your car, safer, and to drive like this. Okay, so if there are two person who works in Genting who drives their car up and down every day, one guy always drive just in the lanes, another guy, I mean, let's say early morning, 6:30, you need to go to work, right? You need to arrive up there at 7 AM or something like that. You drive using the apex, follow the apex instead of following the lanes. You're gonna use up less fuel. You are also using less tire, less brake pads. You use up your brake pads slower. Yeah. So yeah, even at highways, you know, I would ease my car in. And here, normally I would just ease up. Even though I can hold my steering angle here, let the tires do the work. But why let tires do the work when you can just use the road? Yeah, driving instructors will always say, use the road, you know? Yeah. Now, for those of you who are sensitive and say that, oh, you're teaching people to, no, it's not street racing or whatever, it's just, and in fact, if the lanes are wide enough, the roads are tight enough, you can also apply the same logic within your lane. You know, you take the inner side, and when your speed is a little bit too fast, you ease out, but within your lane. You let your car ease out, but within your lane, instead of holding it. You know, it works the same way as well. Yeah. Now, this kind of big sweeping bends, you can't do much with it, with what I just said, right? The most important thing on this kind of big sweeping bends, right? Keep your car stable. If you're going at a higher rate of speed, keep it stable. Don't have sudden jolts or motion, which you might break the traction of your tire. But if you keep it smooth, use your weight of your car that will push your car outwards and downwards, because basically it's body roll, but you use the weight transfer to press down on your outer tires, and that will give you more traction. I'm gonna give way to Bing, the Bentley, because highway. She wants to. Be situationally aware. Oh, this car looks so good. The Bentley looks so beautiful. I would consider myself more of a Bentley Aston Martin person. You know, beautiful interior. The design, I just love the design. But I would really love it if they do some, I don't know, shooting brake or something, some naughtier profiles, because this one is just wow. I mean, if I'm rich enough, I would have a Bentley or an Aston Martin or a Ferrari FF or something like that, you know, something that is powerful, luxurious, and gives you the kind of sensation whereby, wow, I can't believe it, you know, I made it, you know, that kind of sensation. And then I'm gonna have a Yaris for a second car, my day-to-day car, or a Mazda 3 hatchback for a second car. Then I'll be a happy person, you know. If I only have if I only have 5 million ringgit, I will spend 2.5 million on a car, stay in my little condo, do my little work, and the rest put in the bank or something. I mean, I would spend half or 2/3 of my money on a car if I'm that rich. Because let's put it this way, I'm not a socialite or some elite or whatever, right? Just will you do the same thing? Anyway, that's how we drive. Yep. And again, sorry for the long video. Cheers.